Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to take up the part 2 of our second lesson, The Sound of Music. And part 2 tells us about the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Bismillah Khan was known as Ustad Bismillah Khan. He was a Shehnai maestro and very famous in playing this instrument. Now, what is this Shehnai? Shehnai is a type of instrument which was played in the weddings in northern India. And Bismillah Khan is well known for playing Shehnai. Now let us see how Shehnai became one of the famous instruments in India. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Now you should remember, children, pungi is one of the instruments which was played during olden times in the royal palaces, and it had a shrill, it has a very harsh, unpleasant sound. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. Generic name means a common name given for reeded noisemakers. Reeded noisemakers means the instruments having holes in it, reeds in it, like your flute. Have you seen your flute? A flute has many holes. So the instruments which used to have such holes were commonly given a name as pungi. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. Now, once what happens, a barber in the royal palace of Emperor Aurangzeb decides to improve the quality of pungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than pungi, and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. The instrument, so different from the pungi, had to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was played in the Shah's chamber and was played by a nai, that means nai in Hindi means barber, the instrument was named as Shehnai. Now here you can see how a pungi looks like. This photograph shows the pungi. The pungi was an instrument which was producing a very harsh noise. So a barber in Emperor Aurangzeb's court, he decides to improve the pungi. Then he makes a longer instrument which is unlike the pungi, where you can see the photograph of a Shehnai, and he made 7 holes in it, and he started playing by closing one of the holes, and that gave a very pleasant sound. And now this instrument was supposed to be named. How to name the instrument? This was actually played first in the Shah's chamber. So hence, and it is played by a barber. In Hindi, the barber is called as a nai. So it came to be known as Shehnai. The sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. Now they thought it was supposed to bring good fortune to hear the sound of Shehnai. And for this reason, it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. Now, as I told you, this is usually played in North India and it becomes a very important part of the North Indian wedding. And even it's played in temples, since it's considered as bringing good fortune or good omen. In the past, Shehnai was a part of Naubat, or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Now, This instrument was actually played in weddings and in temples. And in some of the royal courts, this was one of the important instruments among the 9 instruments played in royal palaces. Later on, who brought this to the classical stage? Now we all know classical music is an entirely different stream of music, and that credit goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Now who is this Ustad Bismillah Khan is what we are going to learn in the next paragraph. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Damron in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji's temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kilo, a prize given by the local Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy had travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. Now Bismillah Khan, as he was a young 5-year-old boy, he used to play Gilli Danda. Gilli Danda is a type of game played by the children in olden days, and that he used to play in the ancient estate of Damron near Bihar. And daily he used to go to the Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita. So he used to sing songs, and at the end of which he used to get a big laddu which used to weigh almost 1.25 kilos. And this happened 80 years back, and this boy who used to go and sing the songs in Bihariji's temple and get the laddu later on travelled far to earn the highest civilian award, that's the Bharat Ratna award. Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. Now Bismillah Khan belongs to a musician family. His grandfather, Rasul Baks Khan, was a Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpuri king's court. Now his grandfather was a Shehnai player in the Bhojpur king's court. His father, Paigambar Baksh, and other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. Now Bismillah Khan had a paternal history of, or paternal ancestors who were Shehnai players from the beginning. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Benares, now called Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Baks to the Vishnu temple of Benares, where Baks was employed to play the Shehnai. Ali Baks would play the Shehnai, and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. For many years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangala Maiya and the banks of Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts, where he could practice in solitude. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. Now how Bismillah Khan came into the capture of Shehnai is what is told in this particular paragraph. In this particular paragraph, we should try to understand when he was at the age of 3. His mother took him to his maternal uncle's house, maternal uncle's mother's brother's house in Banaras or in Varanasi. And Bismillah used to be very fascinated by his uncle, or very happy to see his uncle play the Shehnai so well. And Bismillah used to sit hours together listening to the Shehnai playing. Slowly he also started practicing the lessons of playing the instrument. And for many years, the temple of Balaji and Mangala Maiya and banks of Ganga river became the favorite places for him to practice playing the Shehnai in solitude. Solitude means all alone. And the flowing waters of the Ganga, the sound of the flowing waters of Ganga inspired him to bring out more music and good ragas in the music that was beyond the range of a Shehnai. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. At the end of his recital, Ustad Faiz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. Now at the age of 14, Bismillah Khan has had an opportunity to go to the Allahabad Music Conference. And after he had finished playing the Shehnai, Ustad Faiz Khan appreciated the boy, telling that you should work hard and you can reach to great heights. And when the All India Radio came into existence in Lucknow in 1938, Bismillah Khan becomes a Shehnai player on the radio. When India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. He poured his heart out into Raag Khafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Tryst with Destiny speech. When India gained her independence, Bismillah Khan had an opportunity to play Shehnai for the first time for the entire nation from the Red Fort, and in front of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So this was a wonderful opportunity for Bismillah Khan. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so taken in by the maestro that he gifted him priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. The King of Afghanistan was not only one to be fascinated with Bismillah's music. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah play at a festival that he named the film after the instrument called Goonj Uthi Shehnai. Now Bismillah Khan not only gave performances in India but also he went abroad to give the performances. His first trip was to Afghanistan, where the King of Afghanistan, King Zahir Shah, was very fascinated or very attracted by this maestro, that he gifted him many important things like priceless Persian carpets were gifted and other memorable things for the person. Not only the King of Afghanistan, Bismillah Khan also attracted the film director Vijay Bhatt, who was so impressed after hearing to him that he produced a film. He directed a film which was given the name Goonj Uthi Shehnai. The film was a hit, and one of Bismillah Khan's compositions, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, turned out to be a nationwide chartbuster. Not only the film was a super hit, but one of the songs became a record breaker, that is Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. Despite this huge success in the celluloid world, Bismillah Khan's ventures in film industry were limited to two: Vijay Bhatt's Goonj Uthi Shehnai and Vikram Srinivas' Kannada venture Sanadi Appanna. I just can't come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world, he says with emphasis. Now he says, but though his film was a success, the first movie was a super hit, but his film music was restricted to only two films. One was Vijay Bhatt's Goonj Uthi Shehnai and another one was Vikram Srinivas' Kannada venture Sanadi Appanna. That was the reason was the maestro Bismillah Khan couldn't go along with the artificiality of the film world. Awards and recognition came thick and fast. Thick and fast means very quickly. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. So he was the first Indian to go to perform in America. He also took part in the World Exposition in Montreal, in Cannes Arts Festival and in Osaka Trade Fair. So well known did he become internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him, Tahar Mosque, Mosik Ustad Bismillah Khan. National awards like the Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan were conferred upon him. Now there were many awards which were given to Bismillah Khan. Not only that, one of the auditoriums in Tehran was named after him. So this was wonderful for Bismillah Khan to bring in his name all over the world. In 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna. With the coveted award resting on his chest and his eyes glinting with rare happiness, he said, "All I would like to say is teach your children music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn our music." So, when he received the Bharat Ratna, he just told one thing: teach our children music. And that is the richest tradition what we have. People from outside, that is outside India, from the Western countries, are coming to India to learn music. Why not our children learn music? That is what Ustad Bismillah Khan told when he received the Bharat Ratna award. In spite of having travelled all over the world, Khan Sahib, as he is fondly called, is exceedingly fond of Banaras and Damron, and they remain for him the most wonderful towns of the world. Though Bismillah Khan has travelled the entire world, for him the famous two places are only Banaras and Damron. A student of his once wanted him to head a Shehnai school in the USA, and the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temples there. But Khan Sahib asked him if he would be able to transport river Ganga as well. Now, once one of his students was very excited to set up a Shehnai school in USA, and he wanted Bismillah Khan to be the head of that school. And the student promises Bismillah Khan that I will create an atmosphere like Banaras by bringing in temples there, and every scenario will be like Banaras. That time Khan Sahib asked him, "Okay, you will do everything. Can you bring river Ganga there?" Later he remembered to have said, "That is why whenever I am in a foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think of only Banaras and the holy Ganga. And while in Banaras, I miss the unique Matha of Damron." Now, Bismillah Khan was very much attached to his own motherland, and whenever he was in a foreign country, he missed Hindustan. And when he was in Mumbai or in Bombay, he used to always think of Banaras and the holy Ganga. So he used to always miss his own places. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India, one that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim like him can very naturally play the Shehnai every morning at Kashi Vishwanath temple. Now, Ustad Bismillah Khan was a best example for the cultural heritage of India, because he was a very devout Muslim. Devout in the sense believing strongly in his religion and obeying the laws and practices of his religion. But though he was a devout Muslim who used to naturally very happily play Shehnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanathan temple. Ustad Bismillah Khan passed away on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90 after prolonged illness. He was given a state funeral, and the government of India declared one day of national mourning. So this great personality, Bismillah Khan, passed away on 21st August 2006. But he has given a wonderful name to India from his musical life. So this is about Bismillah Khan, my dear children. So we complete the lesson over here. Please read the lesson thoroughly, and I'll be sending you the notes. Please copy down the same. Thank you.